I don't know where the geese went. I don't know where they went. There was a bunch of geese right there. Where have the geese gone? I think some truck scared them off. And geese aren't normally frightened by anything. Is there anything that hunts a Canadian geese? A Canadian goose? Maybe a bear? I don't know. I think a flock of wild Canadian geese would probably frighten off a bear. Those things are ruthless. Ruthless animals. I don't know where they went. I wanted to show you the geese. Anyways, I think we're live. Hit that subscribe button. Sorry I can't show you the geese that were right behind me. Some construction truck, I think, scared them off. I was so excited because I wanted to tell you about driving by Crystal Lake, which is right there. Every time I drive by Crystal Lake, I think of Camp Crystal Lake. I believe that's the origins of the horror movie Jason. Is that the movie Jason? Friday the 13th and something? Is it just Jason? I'm pretty sure. But Camp Crystal Lake was the camp where Jason drowned. We're going to talk about Celebrity Sober Club in a second. I'm just pissed. I wanted to show you these geese. Geese are monsters. They're a scary species. And they're not scared. And they'll attack you. They will easily attack you. I've seen it. I've seen it. But I was driving by Camp Crystal Lake right here. Not Crystal Lake. I keep thinking Camp Crystal Lake, like the Jason movie. And I thought I saw this beautiful, because there's swans in the lake, right? I'm driving by, I thought I saw this swan flying next to the car, and I was like, oh, that's so magical. And as I got closer, I realized it was a trash bag, a white trash bag caught in the tree that was flapping, and it looked like a swan flying by, like a faraway swan. And I was totally tricked by a trash bag. Thought I saw a swan flying by across the lake. That was embarrassing. Thank God I didn't try to take a picture of it. Anyways, Sobriety Sober Club. I'm Rob. Welcome to the live stream. I go live every weekday. If you could, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. Because I can only give you my word that I go live every weekday. I can't give you my word when. Okay? Sometimes twice a day, sometimes on the weekends, but every weekday. And I just read a story. By the way, I link all the stories down in the description if you want to read them on your own, which I highly recommend reading today's stories because they're powerful. There are the geese. You hear them? Those honking bastards. They're probably fighting someone. Those geese are gnarly, I'm telling you. Anyway, so today, great article about Anne Hathaway, the Oscar nominated or Oscar winner. Either way, best Catwoman, hands down. There's no better Catwoman, okay? And I might say that a lot, but that's the truth. Heath Ledger's Joker is the best. Anne Hathaway's Catwoman is the best. Hold on one second. Keep getting... All right, am I still here? All right. Sorry. So this article about Anne Hathaway, how she's been sober. They were interviewing her about being middle-aged. What do you think about being 40? And she says, I don't consider that middle-aged. Hard for me to put a title on it because I could get hit by a car tomorrow, which I agree. You don't know if you're ever middle-aged, okay? I got a lot of friends that died in their 20s. And at that point, 10 was middle-aged for them? So I get where she's going with that. But she talks about when she turned 40, that had marked 5 years of being sober, which I wish more celebrities. I know there's quite a few, and there was a huge anniversary. If you follow Eminem on Instagram, I'm not on Instagram, but you couldn't miss the news that he was celebrating his 16th year sober. He got a coin. My brother has one of those. Very proud of him. And if you work in the program, you know, one day at a time. And it's a momentous thing, but more importantly, when celebrities, I really feel like they're celebrities for a reason, not just to be like The Rock and sell us shampoo, even though he doesn't have hair. I don't know if you've seen his aisle at Target, but he's selling you conditioner and shampoo, and the whole catchphrase, the branding line is like, if I had hair, my hair would love this. And it's like, that's what a ruthless capitalist. This guy doesn't even have hair, hasn't had hair for like 40 years, and he's selling you shampoo. Would you buy shampoo from a hairless guy? It's like, do you see the ads on YouTube? It's not fat dudes telling you how to lose weight. It's these ripped, cut dudes. So I just think celebrities are more than just like Kevin Hart trying to sell you a credit card. What's in your wallet? Shut the up. And I think this is the good celebrities can do when Eminem is sharing his token of 16 years sober. When Anne Hathaway, that's what we'll get back to, in this article talking about, and she says, I don't talk about this much, but I've been sober for 5 years, which good on her. I'm starting to love Anne Hathaway more and more. She might be one of my favorite actresses. Best Catwoman ever. Have I said that? And she talks about one of the moments, I guess she's a mom of 2, and she talks about one of the moments she realized she needed to get sober. And I originally read the article wrong. I went back and reread it, and it turns out she said, I was taking my son to school and I was hungover. And I realized at that point, like, that was a problem. And I thought it meant she was driving hungover, which I was like, oh yeah, that's brutal. I've been there. I'll tell you my personal story in a minute. But when I reread it, she said I wasn't driving. So she's got a driver. And by the way, this is one of my biggest pet peeves with celebrities. When you hear about them getting a DUI, it's like, you effing morons, you maroons, you have infinite money, infinite power and influence. You could probably get into an Uber and get a free ride just because you're you. And these people still end up getting DUIs. Unbelievable. When you think about it, like, I know a lot of people get DUIs because they needed to drive home, because they couldn't afford a cab, because they had to get their car home for work in the morning, whatever it is. A litany of excuses, and none of them are good, because as soon as you get on that road, whether you had a drop or a keg, you're dangerous to other people. And it's usually the sober family driving home that ends up really hurt, and because you're intoxicated, you end up fine. I've seen a lot of lives ruined. I lost my uncle to drunk driving. I mean, just nightmare scenario. So I never given a celebrity excuse when they get a DUI. Never. If you're at celebritant level, you got the power, influence, the money, there's no excuse. You Uber the F home. So let's get back to Anne Hathaway. So she was hungover, not driving, and taking her kids to school. And she realized, like, it's cool what she says in the article. She says in the article, I realized for the next 18 years, I don't want to have alcohol. As long as my son's in the house, he really needs me, which is incredible. That is the most heartfelt thing a parent could say. Like, and that's what being a parent is about. Sacrifice for your kids. And I really admire her for that. And I really admire Anne Hathaway for sharing that. I think these celebrities, that's the most powerful, most influential thing they could do. Not sell us merch or tell us to buy their book. It's share their personal lives. Because a lot of people, think about how many women, how many moms maybe look up to her and maybe have lived in those experiences, but they didn't have a driver, so they were driving their kids hungover. And to hear Anne say, like, I'm giving it up, it could have, who knows, the ripple effect, right? The butterfly effect. Anne Hathaway says this in an interview somewhere, and the effect is all these moms get sober. I don't know if that's how it works, but it could. And what harm could it bring, sharing your personal experiences? They're already getting lambasted in the Sun Weekly or whatever, these TMZ, I don't know, with the paparazzi things. So I think it's only good can come of it. And you see, like, Eminem's very open and honest about his sobriety. And I could relate to Anne's story because, listen, there was a point in my life when I was much younger where both my parents had lost their license for alcohol involved, whatever. I don't want to go into it. And I was the only one with a license. I just got my license. So I was the one driving kids to school. That's why I always love the joke where people are like, man, hurry up. Let's get this alcohol because those kids aren't going to drive themselves to school. Or we got to get drunk quick. Or we got to sober up because those kids aren't going to drive themselves to school. I always love that joke because I lived it. It was real for me. It was very, very real. I remember picking up and dropping my brothers off at school, or taking my parents' places because I was the only one with a license. Fun times when you're 16. Everybody counting on you to drive them around in your parents' car. Oh, brutal. So I was at least stoked to hear that Anne wasn't driving. Maybe she was driving and she just wanted to play it cool, like, like she wasn't hungover, driving her kids to school, realizing. The other shocking thing is she said she's hungover for like 5 days. She must be so teeny, you know? She must be like 3'8" and like 17 pounds. Because to be hungover for 5 days, like what is she doing? Taking a vacation every night she drinks, or every week after she drinks? And then the second article I linked down below is really cool because it actually uh, talks about all the different celebrities. I don't know how long the list is. Maybe it's like 10 deep. Demi Lovato, Bradley Cooper, who else? Noah Cyrus. Is that Miley's little sister? A bunch of people. It talks about Anne Hathaway, Eminem, Brad Pitt. There's a bunch of people. One of the Backstreet Boys. A ton of people that like you don't realize. I think maybe you've heard of them being sober, but it just gives you a brief synopsis of, you know, the times that they've spoken about it. And I wish, I mean, out of all the reality TV shows where they like to watch, they throw alcohol on people in a house and just like to watch the explosion, where's the TV show of like Celebrity Sobriety Club, right? I want to see that TV show where Eminem leads a meeting. And I know you're not supposed to like talk about these things, it's supposed to be private, but I mean, made for TV. You know, I'd love to see like Eminem talking about his sobriety on a reality show or helping other people, you know, like a calmer, what's that? Intervention. Remember that show? That show was hard to watch. In fact, I couldn't even watch it anymore. It's so heartbreaking. But TV, I mean, TV in America is ruthless. They had a show called The Intervention. People, I think, did they die? Some of them? Couldn't have all been good, but if they could do that, they should have like like undercover sobriety celebrity, where Eminem goes in undercover and finds people that are trying to get sober and helps them. Are you hearing this, TMZ? I'm pitching these ideas. You got connections. NBC, Netflix, Paramount, HBO, Max, Amazon. Patent pending, that's my idea. Undercover celebrity, undercover sober celebrity, or celebrity sober club. Whatever you want to do. I think it'd be a good TNT show. We'll have a Hallmark Christmas episode. Sober for the Holidays, featuring Tony Braxton. I don't know if Tony's sober, but I think it'd be a great get. I think celebrities would want to do it. But I just think that the amount of people it could help, I'm so stoked Eminem does it. He has like 42 million followers, I think, on Instagram. And to show that, it's got to inspire people to do it. Like, hey, if he could do it, if the guy I look up to can do it, I could do it. Or at least try. Or at least bring it to the conversation. Bring the conversation to the table. All right, if you could, hit that subscribe button. The articles I left down in the description. Make sure you hit the notification bell. It would mean the world to me. I'm going live every weekday, bringing you content, bringing you stuff. We're talking about whatever and everything. Hopefully it's always entertaining. And this is fascinating because I did not know Anne Hathaway was sober, and it makes me like her more. And I wish more celebrities would do what Anne did and talk about it. And talk about that moment you realized, you know, I've been sober for a long time, and I can share that story. I thought it was more important to talk about Anne and Eminem, Miss Hathaway and Eminem, but either way, it's important for everyone to bring that conversation to the table. And if you're struggling, there's help for you. It's much easier for celebrities with their money and access to get help, but there's help, you know, and it just starts by taking that first step, by reaching out, by, you know, admitting you got a problem. So if you do maybe have a problem, please talk to somebody. Look for a local meeting. Those saved my life, saved my brother's life. And you can do it. Believe in yourself. I know how hard it is to get sober. I know. I spent many times crying in my car or broken down, not thinking I would make it, not thinking I'd survive, being so terrified that I would go out and use again. And I'm here. I'm a testament to being able to get sober. So I believe in you. And I just hope that anybody struggling can find that hope too. I hope that you find hope, because I know how tough it can be. All right, I'm out of here. Hit that notification bell when you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave it in the comments what you think about these celebrities talking about being sober. Thanks so much for joining me. Salute.